Today, we're leaving the postcard Algarve behind.
We'll be driving west to Sagres and Cabo de Sao Vicente, the edge of mainland Europe, where the Atlantic doesn't gently roll in, it crashes. This is the Algarve at its wildest. Fewer resorts, fewer crowds, just cliffs, crazy wind, and open ocean. Let's see what this side of Portugal really feels like. We left Albufeira at 9:30 this morning, heading along the A22 motorway. The drive to Sagres takes about an hour and 20 minutes, and as you move further west, the Algarve begins to change. The landscape opens up and the Atlantic starts to feel closer. By the time we arrived in Sagres, the wind had picked up significantly. The sky was dramatic, but there was no rain, just that powerful Atlantic air pushing across the headlands. Before heading to the cliffs, we stopped at Café Espresso in Sagres for something warm. Sitting inside the Fiat 500, watching the wind outside, we enjoyed a cappuccino, hot chocolate, and of course, pastel de nata. Simple, but very welcome on a day like this. Sometimes those small pauses become part of memory. From there, we walked down toward Praia de Mareta, where surfers were navigating the strong winds. The Atlantic was energetic, rolling restlessly, constantly shifting. Watching the surfers carve through that movement gave you a sense of just how powerful this coastline really is. Then we headed to Sagres Fortress. The fortress dates back to the 15th century and is closely associated with Prince Henry the Navigator, one of the key figures behind Portugal's Age of Discovery. While much of the original structure was damaged over time, particularly during the 1755 earthquake, the site remains one of the most historically significant maritime locations in Europe. Walking the complete circuit of the fortress walls in strong winds was an experience in itself. The cliffs drop steeply into the Atlantic. Waves crash below with real force. There are few barriers. It feels exposed, raw. This isn't manicured Algarve. We filmed the jagged cliffs, the Atlantic spray rising from below, and the dramatic contrast between golden limestone and deep blue water. On a calm day, it would be beautiful. On a windy day like today, it feels alive. After finishing the circuit, we drove just 2 kilometers further to what many call the edge of Europe, Cabo de Sao Vicente. For centuries, this headland was believed to be the end of the known world. Ancient Romans called it Promontorium Sacrum, or Sacred Promontory. It was once thought that the sun sank into the ocean right here. Today, a small but striking lighthouse stands on the cliffs. This current lighthouse dates back to the 19th century and remains one of the most powerful in Europe, guiding ships through these often dangerous waters. Standing there with the wind pressing hard and waves exploding against the cliffs, you understand why this place carried such myth and legend. It doesn't feel like a casual viewpoint. It feels significant. For lunch, we stopped at Sao Vicente Spot Restaurant, just a short distance from the lighthouse. From our table, we could see the edge of Europe barely 200 meters away, and beyond it, nothing but the Atlantic. We kept it simple, a tuna sandwich and a pot of tea. Then something weirdly unexpected. Inside the restaurant was a large-scale museum display of taxidermy exotic animals, a collection that felt completely out of place on this rugged coastal edge. It was one of those surprising travel moments you don't anticipate, but somehow it made the stop pretty memorable. After lunch, we began the drive back to Albufeira. The return journey felt quieter, reflective. Sagres and Cabo de Sao Vicente show a very different Algarve, not polished or resort-focused, but powerful, historic, and deeply connected to Portugal's maritime story. If you want drama, scale, and something that feels bigger than just a beach holiday, this is where you come. And on a windy day, we say it might just be even better.